Now then, welcome back to Garage. Another project on today, for the rest of time. This thing, K1200R. Lovely. Anyway, jumps out of first gear. Jumps out of first gear. Where have we heard that before? Check the link in the... Stop doing that. Need to get the gearbox out. Show you a quick way to do this first of all. This here, that's the clutchy thing, clutch thing, bleed, nipple. Make sure that's all loose before you start doing anything else. Anyway, that comes off. Like that. Good, yep, good. Go on the spares box. I've already taken the drive shaft out. Weld, might have to do that. That's got a tear in it. Anyway, forget that. Come back to here. Clutch, clutchy thing, clutch thing, timing, clutch. Clutchy stuff. That nut in there, pretty damn FT. So had to invest in a massive tool to undo that. And my air gun didn't even touch it. My big hammer with a big spanner and getting angry, didn't even shift it. So invested in a Milwaukee fuel thing. You know, that's the most expensive nut I've ever had to undo. But every further nut will half in price. So we're going to undo that, take that out in a second. I'm going to stand you up somewhere, my new newfangled got it for Christmas tripod. Look at me, I'm a proper YouTuber now, you know. And then we're going to go around the other side of this bike, other side to here, where the gearbox needs to come out. So that's an overflow tank, expansion tank, whatever you want to call it. That'll just move. That comes out. And the gearbox on these is a cassette type. So this block here, that's the drive shafty thing. Take the drive shaft out. That all just comes out this way with all the gears attached. So, if you're going to be interested in watching that, then stay tuned, because you'll never know what's going to happen next. Will it work? Is it broken? What are we going to find inside that gearbox? Ooh. Hang on, let me do some thumbnail images. Ooh. Is that the 7 that you've got to use? I don't know. Anyway, see you next time. Right, now you should be able to see me a bit better. Or see stuff a bit better at least. I'm going to remove this. Now, I haven't taken out any of the middle bit, Belleville spring, clutch spring, etc. That nut is now loose. I'll undo that. Come on, undo. Yes, nut. That'll go down there. There seems to be like a rocky one. No, there's nothing on there. Now, before I go any further, I just remembered. Let me bring you in here a minute. Come on. Come and see. Can you see the gear behind the clutch gear, drive gear? And can you see the little hole in that gear on the side? Yes, you can see it. That, I believe, is to lock up that gear because it's got some sort of anti-backlashy thing on. I'm only guessing, I don't know, I haven't even got a manual for this. But a man on the internet said you've got to put something in that hole to stop things moving. So I'm going to go and find a drill bit to do that and then get back on it. Okay, you might just be able to make it out there. I've got a tiny little drill bit in there. Don't now move this engine because that will shear off and then you'll have bits of drill bit in your engine. Don't do that. It should just come off. I think. I might have to take all this off, but we'll see. Come on. There we go. Clutch pack. Clutch pack come out. Now we can see if there's anything else stopping us. Good. Come on. Try and take the grip on. There we go. Twatty thing. Right, we are back. I look like one of those blue screen things, but no, this is the actual bike right here. So take this off, take that off, take that off, and pull the gearbox out. That's the next job. So let's go. Right, do you want to come and have a look, see? Come on in, come and see. Right, there's some bolts around there. There's one hidden, there's another one. Another one. Probably one behind there. Probably some behind there as well. Hope that's not one that I sheared off. And some plugs and guff in the way. Let me undo those and then I'll bring you back in a second. Ooh, nice. Nice. Not sponsored. Okay, we've got updates. Taking all the plugs off. They should all go back to whence they come from. Get a bit of brake clean around there. Now, I just wanted to clear the route for the gearbox bolts. So see the top two? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One behind there, that's 7. Took the boot off. That's going to be fun to get back in there. And moved all these pipes and cables and who knows what they do. But I moved them all out the way as well. So now I should just be able to undo those 7. And the whole gearbox will just slide straight out into my hand. Do you want to see that happening? Stick around. We'll do it later. Of course not. We're going to do it right now. Get into shot, get into shot, get into shot. Right. We just had some wailing and gnashing of teeth. Because... Come here. Torqued bolt, torqued bolt, torqued bolt. The one in behind there, which is a T45, by the way. Unless you've got something massively good, it fits, but it doesn't go on. So, use a T40, which does fit, but it's slack. Grit your teeth and realise that none of these bolts are actually very tight at all. Why aren't they tight? It's holding a gearbox in, for Christ's sake. This is the wrong size thing. This is the roughest thing I've ever done. No effort whatsoever. So when you're doing them back up again, you know, make sure you do them up to 3 foot-pounds of torque, because that's apparently all they need. Anyway, panic over. Just use the wrong size tool for the job. Perfect. Right. All the bolts are out. 8 of them. Not 7, like the other chap on the internet who's done this job. 8. All 8 are out. That should just come away in my hands. Not the first time that's happened, obviously. Something coming off of my hand. So, keep your eyes peeled on that. I'm going to go around the other side and give it a little tap. Mallet's mallet. Watch that. Tell me if it moves. moving yet. Right then, gearbox, gearbox, gearbox. Where you going to land? Let's get all your bits out the way. There. How heavy are you going to be? You going to be finger trappy heavy, or are you going to be okay? Oh, yeah. Oh no. Oh, gaskets. Gaskets stuck on dowels. Gasket, gasket dowel. Good. Any more dirty gaskets? Ta-da! Right, let's go to them. Ow! That really hurt! God, right in the shin bone. Let's go to the bench. Okay, so we've got the gearbox, and it should be something like this in the bike. Yeah, that way up. I need to hold it in the vise, so I'm going to utilise some coach bolts. They're stainless, they don't have to be. And that piece of wood I've been keeping in the garage for it to come in useful. Right, handy little gearbox holding bracket. BMW Special Tool 143/B/C. That clamps in there and that rests on the bottom of the vise. That's all sturdy, it's not going anywhere. It's in the same orientation as it is on the bike. It's, you know, it didn't take long at all, that. Neutral. Yep, like it. Get a gear lever, shall we? Gear lever, gear lever, gear lever. Where's my gear lever? There it is. Gentle. Good. Any more gears? Nope. That's top gear. That's first gear. Right then, first gear. Why are you jumping out? Does anybody want to tell me why? Lots of cams and things and stuff. It should be neutral. It's not. It's not. That is. Trying to figure out where the drive is coming from. There. It's you, isn't it? You're knocked in first now. Come and see. Come and have a look at this end. Can you see that there? Dog teeth. Second or neutral. First. Engages that, engages that. That's now driving onto that. So these teeth are either worn out or the inside of the gear is worn out. I wonder how on earth, if it's even possible to fix that. Probably isn't. Probably got to spend £14,000 on a new gearbox. Okay, cool. Just changed the old gearbox orientation in the vise now. There was a little snap ring on there and a thrust washer. Taking that off. I think what it is these dudes get a pointer stick. Pointy stick. Drive dogs. Engage with the gear on the inside of the gear. So, not engaged, engaged. Not engaged, engaged. That then comes around and drives the gear. Okay, but see how they're not like in far enough. Might be a bit of wear, might be something else, but they're only just hanging on by the fingernails. So I reckon underneath washer, bearing, thrust washer, bearing, thrust washer, bearing. Ew, what a horrible bearing. That's gross. Looking on the inside here, not really any wear that we can see. There's that tiny bit of a curve. Just there, tiny little chamfer, and it's only just engaging with those things. So it might be that this gear here, that might need to come out, and all that might need to come out as well. Lots of things need to come out now. Might need fixing. No real visual wear on there, but I'm saying that's the issue. And guess what? Thanks BMW, double thumbs up to you. Can't buy them separately. Right, back in a bit. Okay, plan is now to disassemble this gearbox further. It's all sort of, because it's a cassette type, it's all stuck. That was that horrible bearing I was talking about, look. Ugh. Gross. Anyway, you can just about make out, probably, if I get my finger in the right place. I said that before. The little chamfers here. Here on these drive dogs. These are dogs, these are gears. Dogs. So they get chamfered off and worn. They end up like a taper. They fit on the inside of these. These are slightly tapered off as well. Those two tapers come together and just create a ramp. And when you put the power on, it's enough for a ramp just to push this gear away out of first gear and hit neutral again. So this needs to come off, and then I need to work out how to fix that gear set in order for everything else to go back together again. So, to get this one off, you got to get the selector fork off. To get the selector fork off, you've got to take the selector rod off. The selector rod is detented into this plate down the bottom here. Okay, undo those screws, that's all fine. Yeah, until you come around here and realise there's one in there. Can you see? There's one in there. This obviously in from the other side. Great. So we'll discobuberate all of this. That'll explode all over the bench. Then we can start piss-assing about fixing it in a completely non-bodgy way, you understand. Okay, good. Okay, so we got updates. Out of the bottom of the gearbox, we've taken the selectory springy doodab and stuff, because we have to do that. This is the end of the gearbox. Top tip, that screw there is a tiny little one. Tiny little one. It's got no place being in there at all. Doesn't go through, look, see? Doesn't go through, see? Doesn't do it. But before you take this off, take the little screw out, take one of the big ones out, put the big one in the thing, and then that holds the springy dude in the right place, so when you put it back in again, you just undo it, it's all good. Anyway, you live and learn. So, here, what we've done now, you can see down in here, where's my big pointy stick? Can you see that plate there? That is the securing plate that goes all around the back of everything and acts as a holder for the selector rails. I couldn't pull them out before, but now I've undone all the bolts and that's got enough room to move. So that should now pull out. Okay, pulls out a bit, that should enable me to pull that out the way. Even better if I do it on camera. Remember where that one went? That one went in there. So if I can move this plate this way a bit this time, it does sort of just rotate around that plate, just slides a bit out the way enough so that I can grab hold of this selector rail and move it. Yep. Then I can rotate this around and move those selector forks. Bit of wear on there, not worried at all. That goes in that way up. How on earth am I going to remember that? Just leave it there. Fine. That should mean that this gear just comes up. Ta-da! Mission accomplished. That goes in the top, don't forget. If I leave it there, I think it goes there. The washer goes on the top of the shaft. If I put that there, it won't go back on, so I'll know. Okay, time to fix that one and its gear. So, what we'll do is we'll flatten off with a diamond bit, a chamfer bit on the gear. Dremel, wall, Dremel, vise, Dremel, diamond, chamfer, and that will just square the edges up. And then that'll work. Why wouldn't it? Go! And we'll just keep working on like that. So, thoughts so far are, that's where the gear should engage, like fully in. When it's in the gearbox, they're only engaging about halfway. And that's a BMW thing. These little dogs should be taller. So, we're just in the process of squaring the edges up that have been rounded off, causing it to jump out. So, bit of Dremel in. See the old Dremel down there? Good tool then, diamond bits. Because these are dead hard, so I don't want to, a file wouldn't touch him, and I don't want to heat him up or anything. So, nice and steady, diamond bit. It's not even getting warm. So, round the corners off. Hope that'll work. That just puts it back to spec, if you like. If that doesn't work, the next option is a bit rough. Is build these up a bit, then flatten back. About 2mm you need on top of them, and then that will give you more engagement and also clearance when it needs to move.